The video is going viral, many of such videos going viral, of a trans man, which is to say a woman, complaining that she is being misgendered. And usually when we see these videos, and conservatives play these videos all the time, we just kind of make fun of the people and we say, oh, you know, come on, wah, 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 you know, yeah, no one's calling you by this fantasy, wah, 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 wah. That actually wasn't my reaction. Maybe it's because this is a woman who's pretending to be a man. That wasn't my reaction first time I saw this video.
Being trans is so hard and so exhausting. Like, I have been misgendered all day. Every single interaction, conversation, everything. Just misgendered from the beginning of the day to now. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of correcting people who won't listen. I'm sick of people not seeing me. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. And then I'm like, oh, well, if I went on TV, this would never happen. But I don't want to go on TV. I just want people to believe that trans people exist. And to look at me and think for a split second, like, oh, maybe they don't want to be called a lady. Maybe that's...
So... this one is, some of the videos are funny. Some of the videos with these really over-the-top, flamboyant people making a big spectacle of themselves saying, why? It's ma'am! What do you mean? I'm a 6'4" dude, but you didn't call me ma'am. Actually, it's ma'am. And that's kind of funny. This one's not funny to me. This woman, at the end, she pulls down her shirt and she's got these gash marks where her breasts used to be, where some lunatic quack doctor chopped off her healthy organs. And this woman's crying. She says, no, they just misgender me. They won't gender me correct. And the only choice I have is to go on testosterone. And then you see the desperation in her voice. She says, I don't want to go on testosterone. And of course she doesn't want to go on testosterone. Testosterone, I interviewed Helena Kirshner, a detransitioner, woman to appearing more like a man to recognizing she's a woman again. And she said when she was on testosterone, she became very aggressive. She was impelled to violence. And she said, thankfully, I turned the violence on myself. I didn't turn the violence on other people, but I turned it on myself. She was cutting herself and all sorts of crazy. You can see the interview. It's on my YouTube channel. And so the testosterone has, obviously, if you inject a woman with a lot of testosterone, it's going to have all sorts of crazy effects. And so this woman says, I don't want to go on that. Why won't people call me a man? I just want to become a... And so I watch a video like that. I think, I can't laugh at that. I can't laugh at that any more than I would laugh at a I'm sure that's terribly painful. And the responsibility for that pain lies with the fact of this fallen world. People just have problems. Suffering is part of life. And a lot of that pain lies with the teachers who indulge this, the supposed friends who indulge this, certainly the doctors the quacks who indulge this. They are responsible for that. When you affirm people in lies, and then the people become very angry and depressed because the lies they have been told and affirmed in don't correspond with reality, the liars bear a lot of that responsibility. It's not the people who told them the truth that bear that responsibility. It's the liars who bear that responsibility. And those liars have a lot of power. You can't blame that woman. Joe Biden's telling her that she's a man. But she knows she's not a man, deep down, because she lives in reality. And her imagination has to butt up against reality as she makes it through her day. Her teachers told her she was a man, I'm sure. Her whole community did. I know the teachers are saying this stuff because the teachers now are crying when Republican governors and legislatures say that you can't teach this stuff in schools, that you're not allowed to have gay porn, like actual gay transgender porn in schools. And the teachers are whining and crying about this, like this Texas teacher.
If you've been living under a bubble, then let me tell you, the right is trying to destroy public education. You might watch a video like this and you're like, this person's not smart at all. Wow. No, they know what they're doing. I'm not bashing all charter schools, but charter schools are a place where problematic things can happen. Let me share an experience from a charter school I interviewed at in Texas where, no, I did not take the job. I interviewed for a school librarian position. I was really excited because I was like, okay, I think I'm going to go back to teaching this year after having my daughter. I was told that the board hand selects every single book that goes into the library, and you cannot put a single book into the library without the board's approval. So I straight up asked, can I teach a book with a gay couple in it? And they were like, oh, if it's not explicit, that means no. That is an example of what people like
Put
this.
a pause there. Hold on. So I didn't know what the answer to that would be. And I don't know what the answer should be. I guess it maybe depends on the age of the students. But do you think that in a third grade classroom, students should be taught about these divergent lifestyles? I don't think so. Shouldn't children be taught men are men, women are women, marriage is the union between a man and a woman? That's what marriage does mean, necessarily means, and always has meant. And certain people live in eccentric ways, but this is not what we're going to tell you is normal and desirable. That's what education always was until like this year. So I don't know. Now maybe in high school or something, 11th or 12th grade, you could see a book where one says, okay, well, and actually this is this kind of alternative arrangement. Here's this alternative arrangement. Here's this, that, and the other thing. But even regardless, let's say that there's a school district that says, no, we want to teach about gay relationships in the third grade. At the very least, there should be some oversight of that. At the very least, that should be up to the parents and the community in a self-governing society, rather than just one really passionate activist teacher, right? Even if you're totally in favor of teaching kindergartners about gay relationships or transgenderism for that matter, what the teacher is complaining about here is not what's being censored or not being censored, because she said the board is allowing the gay stuff to be taught in schools as long as it's not pornographic. What she's complaining about is any oversight at all.
And what people on the right want to do with public education. And remember, charter schools like that one that I just described are all government funded. We are paying for that school to exist.
Yeah, it's not government funded, because the government is you funded. So it's the government taking money from people and then spending that money in the way that the people desire, at least some of the time. And the people, through their elected representatives, are voting for school choice because they don't want to be locked into these cartels where teacher unions get to milk the people, and the people have no say over how the money's spent or how their kids are educated. So if the schools are failing, the parents can say, nope, we're pulling our kid out of there. We don't want our kid being taught gay porn in the third grade, so we're going to pull that student out and put him in this charter school that will give our student a shot at a great education. And this is especially true for people who are middle class and lower class, because the wealthy people always get to send their kids to whatever schools they want. And the upper class and the middle class can usually homeschool if they want. But if you're making not a lot of money and you're in a place with not a lot of educational options, then your only ticket out is school choice. And the teacher says, that's really awful because it's government money. No, honey, it's people money. And we have self-government in the United States. And the libs always talk about power to the people until the people don't want to go along with their programs. We will be moving into the member block, the Nostradamus Membrum Segmentum. We will be examining some movies that Mr. Davies insists that I check out. The rest of the show continues now. You don't want to miss it. Become a member. Use code Knowles, Knowles, at checkout for 2 months free on all annual plans.